Yar, fiddle-dee-dee, being a pirate is alright to be. Well, welcome back to Skyward Sword. If you remember last time, we actually ended off in the middle of a dungeon because this may be a shorter stream than usual. We'll see. The length of the parts in between dungeons is getting kind of awkward in Skyward Sword. We're getting pretty late in the game too. We're about where I stopped when I stopped playing the game after launch and then didn't pick it up again until Breath of the Wild. So it's a little appropriate that this is the last stream of the week, and we'll be finishing up this dungeon, the Sand Ship. Why did I stop playing Skyward Sword after my favorite dungeon? I'm not sure. Maybe I just thought it peaked. But let's go. Let's hope I remember what we were doing. Nice pirate ship music. Pretty good. Not Bruce's theme. Very similar, though. So, I'm going to be relying on the game to give me a hint on what we're doing, because I remember last time we got a small key, and I don't know where I'm going with that. So let's see if the game's tools are really as good as they are. Fee, give me the deets. You never got past this point in your 3 playthroughs of the game. Yeah, it's to me it's like this is around here is where the game really starts to pad, especially like just telling you go to this general area and then like just find the entrance to the Silent Realm trial. Like, they could have just told you, oh, it's outside the entrance to the 2 dungeons you've already been to. That saves a lot of time by itself. And then they pad it with, like, maybe the ship is inside this dusty sand room. Nope, it was just a mini-boss fight. I guess we wasted all that time. Let's go look somewhere else. I don't know. For being one of the Zelda games that's the least rushed, it feels like this game is kind of rushed. I don't know why I feel that. Okay, so we need a small key. We have a small key. Here. I need to get up to the first floor. How? Let's go outside. Let's see if I can get up there from there. From anywhere around here. Your favorite dungeon in the game? Mine too. I just love how the time shift stone. Basically, the whole time we've fiddled with the time shift stones, they'd either been in multiple places when we first see them, then we learn how to carry them around to affect certain parts of a single room, and then finally it all culminates in this dungeon, where it's just one time shift stone for the entirety of the ship, which is dang cool. It's less about like bringing the stone places and finding ways to access it. Pretty good. I like that you can see the ocean down there. The effect of the shift stone is so big. Was the chicken being a ship figurehead? That's the word for it. Thank you, Squidgy Bump. Also, welcome on in. Figurehead. Here we go. Locked door. You got it. We were also trying to figure out what the name of a figurehead was. I keep thinking like hood ornaments of a boat? That's not what you call it, but it's the best word I got. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Hope y'all didn't walk under any ladders, or step ladders, or spades, or shovels, whatever you call them. Don't walk under anything. It's just rude. Like when Zelda games break out of the ancient ruined abandoned temple theme. Ends up being interesting. Yeah, I meant to talk about that a little bit, actually. Having played a little bit of this after Breath of the Wild and Twilight Princess, it makes me realize what Breath of the Wild is missing. Not just dungeons in general. Well, that sword is strong now. I need to shoot the time shift stone. But, like, just areas that have cool little themes that aren't just ancient ruins. And, you know, Breath of the Wild, you know, just by nature of its story, leaned on that really heavily. through no fault of its own, but I'd like to see a lot more variety from Breath of the Wild 2. Like, you got this pirate dungeon. You can get, like, an ancient cistern freaking Buddha fairy tale dungeon. It was cool. It made me want to see what the theme of the next area was. Every dungeon. That's what I want to see returned. Not just dungeons, but dungeons with themes to them, both gameplay-wise and visually and auditorially. You know? Skyward's got so much potential. Someone made a mod for it, mods for Roots. I'd like to see a mod that, like Wind Waker HD, streamlines some of the more iffy parts. Oh, I know what I gotta do. I gotta get that robot out of the way. It's blocking the door. Hello? So you see these fans from the outside, so you know you're gonna be looking up through them later. This dungeon's cool. Hey, Moblin. Hey, Moblin. No, no, no. Hold on. Ow! Ah! Ah! Ooh, why doesn't the Beamos attack the Moblin? Ah! Woo! Two birds, one stone, baby. Pretty good. But yeah, I'd like to see a mod that, like, takes out a lot of the padding. Because taking out the required feed tutorials are a pretty good step. And that alone makes this game a lot better. Like, I'm enjoying it a lot better than the Wii version. I didn't even think the tutorials were that intrusive until, like, I really took a look back at them, you know? Hey, 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 hey. Stop, stop, stop. Cease, desist. Hey. Ah! I hate this room. I hate this room. I hate it. I hate it. Ah! I don't want to be here. Let's make this room old so these Beamos can just deteriorate to death. That's what they deserve. Joke's on them. I got time on my side. It's like those stories of, I really don't like this person. How can I get revenge on them? I know. I'll just wait until they pass of old age. That'll really show them. Joke's on them. I'll just live my life to the fullest. Four Swords Adventures seems like maybe fun. Oh, I did mean to talk about that as well at some point. The dolphin emulator, I mean aquatic mammal, I mean... Oh, I gotta reactivate them. Oh, jeez. They just added support for Game Boy Advance connectivity. They partnered with, was it MGBA, I think? To officially put a fork of it into Dolphin. So now Dolphin just has support for Four Swords and Tingle Tuner and Wind Waker. And I'm gonna die. And I'm dying. I'm dying. You know what, actually? I think the game's trying to teach me something about the Beamos. Yeah! Probably could have figured that's a weakness of theirs if they're all around this dungeon. Hey, look at that. I applied my knowledge of Twilight Princess. Giga Brain moment. It took a while. What's up, Adam Oliver? How you doing? Welcome to the squid carving. Ew. Actually, that's kind of cool. Yo, this could be like in Splatoon 3 as an ancient artifact since it has that whole ruined apocalypse theme. Like an artifact of times past. You put it next to a Nintendo Wii. A squid-shaped statue studded with intriguing suction cups. Intriguing. How's it going? You like the 60 frames per second? I do too. I actually usually stream in 30 to 45 frames per second. I don't know how many people have noticed. Because it's a good balance of video quality. I need to sit in a chair. Where's Chairby when you need him? Now that we got the dungeon key, I can make my way over to the boss room. I usually stream in a lower frame rate to preserve some quality, because the bit rate gets spread out over however many frames. But this game deserves the full 60 frames per second. So as a result, I'm streaming with like maximum bit rate, 60 frames per second, and the resulting files on my hard drive are huge. But it's worth it. Just to make this game look the prettiest it can, I love it. HD really benefit this game in a way that I don't even think Nintendo intended. Nintendo intended. That painterly style, it no longer looks like a blurry mess. It just looks like good. Dun, dun, dun. Is that the Squid Tesseract? Yeah, you know it. It's got the Space Stone. It's gonna go summon a monster. Don't worry about it. MGBA. I wonder how good the GBA support is. I'm sure it's still pretty buggy, because that feature has already existed, actually. I've used it before, but it was really hard to get working. Now that it's official, I hope like Four Swords Adventures is going to be more of a thing. I say this as someone who went through the effort of buying 4 of those accessories for the GameCube Game Boy Player, and then hooking them up with 4 Game Boy Advance to GameCube cables to one GameCube, just to play Four Swords Adventures with some friends, all on TVs. That was madness, and there were so many running GameCubes in the room that it was like 90 degrees in the room in the middle of fall. Who needs an interior heating system when you got 5 GameCubes, huh? You want Breath of the Wild 2 to run at better frame rate? PC, oh yeah. PC Breath of the Wild are beautiful. I'm hoping that since it is Switch exclusive, they'll make use of a little bit more power, and maybe they'll announce a Switch Pro for once. Maybe it's real, but maybe they're delaying it to launch with Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 and then make like a special edition Zelda console. Because I know a lot of people will probably be like, "Oh, my regular Switch is fine." But if they put it out with if they put out the Switch Pro with a Zelda limited edition, that'll get everyone to open up their wallets. You know it. It worked for the 3DS, you know. If all y'all remember, every version of the 3DS had a Zelda special edition. Every single one. I'm sure someone out there has them all like in a collection. Even though it's the same game for $60. No, they make a lot of changes to this version. I was just talking about it. A lot of quality of life changes too, and I'm not talking about the amiibo. They took out a lot of the required fee dialogue. A lot of movements are just snappier. The motion controls work way better. In general, the game is just faster. I don't know how to describe it. Is this game worth $60? I don't know. I'd say it's worth $50 though, if you can find it for sale. I think a lot of the online retailers have had it for $50 for a long time. So, yeah, no. It's not just a meme. I like that this lock is shaped like a skull. Come on. Come on. Oh, here we go. No? No. There it is. Yahar. Plus, you got button controls too. Good stuff. I did have it upside down. I thought I was being clever. Like, I bet you have to turn it upside down. But no, I just had to rotate it. Eh? Oh! Uh-oh! Oh no! Calamari! So the fact that I'm doing this boss fight in like the past Shouldn't all this have been wrecked already? I bet. There's no way to have seen this in the future. Time to get out of here. No!
Master Link, judging by their size, these tentacles belong to a monster of considerable size. The current situation is difficult to determine with complete accuracy, but signs indicate that I have seen enough anime to know where this is going. If we do nothing, there's an 80% chance the ship will capsize. I recommend forcing it back with secret power. The next thing to further assess the situation.
Alright, who wants some sushi? Pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, Donkey Kong. This boss is actually pretty good. At least this part of it. Don't worry about it. Side note, I watched the first episode of Marvel's What If. You know, I'm not gonna say anything besides that, but suddenly I'm reminded of it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh yeah, I got skills. Juke, 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 jukes for days. Die. Die. Absolutely, the sequence is freaking amazing. So unique for Zelda. You just enter the boss room looking for a fight, but it's just an engine room, and all of a sudden you have to escape, run for your life. The ship's going under. Go run! Like, what is this? What monster of absolute ferocity are we dealing with? Is it the Kraken?
Warning, Master. I sense an evil presence on the other side of this door. There's a 90% chance it's the primary body. That's all the creatures tentacles are destroying the ship. I suggest making unnecessary preparations before exiting to the outside of the ship.
Oh, what else do I need to prepare? I got my arrows. I got my sparrows. Tweet, tweet. Time to take this boss to the gallows. Gooper Blooper, is that you? DJ Octavio? I bet it looks really cool. Sorry, calamari, I just ate. It looks dumb. Tentalis. Man, I don't know about you guys, but when I played this on the Wii, that's like the biggest anticlimax ever. I can't take him seriously. I don't know, he doesn't look that threatening. Up. Hiya! 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 Can I just slash them normally? Fee said sacred power, so I just assumed goddess slashes. Hello? There he is. What you got? What you at? What you got? You want to eat a bomb? Come a little closer. Okay, I made him angry. That's fair. Oh, I can't just slash him. You could tell me this is a character from Monsters, Inc. Oh yeah, this is Mike Wazowski's girlfriend's dad. No, this is just Mike Wazowski's girlfriend. She, you know, the camera removes a little bit of size, if you know what I mean. That's all right. That's okay. You know, she put on a lot of makeup for that role. Oh. I wonder what this boss would look like in like Twilight Princess style, huh? What you doing? You jamming? You got some jammies going on? Lock on! Saya! Oh, yeah, no, yeah, you have the goddess slash. At least for these ones. No, sir. I don't like it. I will not become another victim of Splatoon. Give me that calamari incantation. Round 2, sir. What you got? Ready, fight! Nope. You're too slow. Tis about to scratch your arms off. Oh, does it hurt? Got a little boo-boo, so you're fine. It is a little bit smaller, though. Oh! Didn't happen. Link rejects your reality. He's got the power of instant teleportation amiibo, but instead of teleporting to Skyloft, it teleports you back to the boss stage. Haha! So yes, so yes, so yes, so yeah! He's got some schmoves though. You know what it doesn't look like? It doesn't look like that boss from Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. The like jelly monster. I kickstarted that game. I remember that one from the demo. It was interesting. Oh! Cracking off the port bow! I hope that's port. Starboard? Starport. Port star. You see the other half of the ship in the distance. You know the ship is hacked. You're just here to survive. There's barely any of it left. What's wrong? Come a little closer. Haha. I'm getting the hang of the controls. I think. Jump slashes on command. Pretty good. I tell you what, everyone who plays Skyward Sword just looks like that Link is being dragged by the sword. Fee's really playing the game. She's fighting the boss. Link's just like, whoa, where are you taking me? Order up. I want some squid rings after this, honestly. Now I'm hungry. Does jump slash do double damage in this game? You know, I just assumed it did, but I never checked. Usually does in Zelda games. That's how you beat Goma in like 2 hits in the first in Ocarina of Time. Deku Stick. Deku Stick is as powerful as the Master Sword for some reason. I could do this all day. I could do this all day. Yeah, I know. Those eyes, that special eye. Oh, you know, I get it. I understand now. This is Mike Wazowski and his girlfriend's son. He just stays inside all day and plays critically acclaimed Square Enix RPG Final Fantasy XIV with free demo at the Heaven Sword and level 60. Their love child has nothing better to do than plague ancient Hylia. Deku Stick Jump Slash, 4 times damage! Same amount of damage that Gandalf amiibo does to me. I do not miss it. Kinda wish that other amiibos worked in this game. Ah! Man, I feel like this boss battle has been going longer than it really should. Like, I've had the pattern down. Am I doing something wrong? Or is this boss just long? I cut off one of the arms once. Never happened again. I might have to do the big strikes to cut off the arm? Maybe. Ah, man. Back under it goes. No, the battle seems like it's progressing, I think. I realized I've been running around, it wasn't actually charging the Goddess Slash. Ah! I see. Now we going. Yeah, yeah, cry me a river. What do my chicken eyes see? Death, despair, a future so dark you need moon glasses. Ha-ha! Now you're totally unarmed. Ah, jeez. Jammin', jammin'. You know what I'd like? If there's a way to do the Goddess Strike without having to charge up like this. I mean, it's cool. But like, there's a way to do the spin attack without charging that up in previous games. Like maybe a potion that makes your sword goddess mode all the time and every slash just makes beams. Jammin'. Yeah, we gotta add jammies in the chat. Charge, charge! This boss gotta go! I forgot the primary rule of Zelda games. Use the boss, use the dungeon item on the boss. It's start of stream. I gotta wake up a little bit. And this is why I said stream might be short, because I need rest. Ooh. Oh! They want a piece of me? Zelda rules. Dungeon item bot box. Big eye weak point. It's almost like I had faith that this boss didn't follow those rules. I don't know why I would think that. Especially in Skyward Sword. Let's go! Aye, aye, Captain! When would I remember that rule? Who knows? This is the exact turning point where the last time I tried this boss was literally in, I don't know, like 2013 abouts, 2012 abouts. This game's almost 10 years old. Hello. Nice of you to join us. Would you like a summary of the minutes of the last meeting? Oh, they're getting smart. They're getting smart. Roar! Roar, I say. Hey! I have to... Ah! I have to recenter the Joy-Con slightly low, because it won't charge unless it's like all the way up. There. Go. Ah! Rule of threes, baby! This has got to be it! Ah! Just go down. Go down! I've had enough of you! Now you throwing a tantrum. Go to your room, young squid. Wait until Splatoon comes out. You're grounded. Imagine if the solution is just hit a time shift stone and Tantalus just immediately turns to dust. Whoops. Just stayed there for 1,000 years. Now it really is the girl from Monsters, Inc. Charge, charge, charge. Charge my sword. Charge. It's not, I can't get it up anymore. It doesn't work. Did my motion controls break? No, now it's going. Now it's not. What's happening? My sword, it doesn't. You guys are getting regular slashes. Ah! E3 2010 moment. No! You can't charge when your shield is up. Oh. Well, that has never been relevant information for me. Interesting. I'm not even putting my shield up. It's just going up for some reason. Oh. I don't want to block. Stop block. I'm not even gonna move my left hand. Oh, good hearts. What's up, Drew? I'm in the middle of a fight. I'm not doing very good. We go over for the old Wii Sports boxing technique. Fist of Fury. You got no hair. Take you to the barbershop. And you know, that's the stream for today. That's it. That's all we needed to do. I'm done. I'm done for the week. How about I just like quit? Just quit streaming. That's it. I've reached my limit. Yeah, I realized that I didn't need to charge to kill the snakes. Obviously, since I resorted to just going full on Fist of the North Star. Believe it or not, I can learn information, and now you're just patronizing me by giving me that tip. So, don't do that. Heart container. Not just a pizza, but an entire pie. Pretty long fight, huh? Well... You know, I just needed to increase the suspense for the audience, right? Because we totally had that bet going on, whether or not I beat it without dying. Nah, hero mode ain't like that. More like I don't got hero mode. How you doing, Tro? Welcome to free tips on when you play Skyward Sword. So you don't go to look like a dang fool for not remembering things from 12 years ago. Wow! Fire! Now, Fee, you gotta try not to hit me this time. I don't want my clothes to catch on fire. I got these for a special occasion. Ah! Action roll! Damn, I missed. Ready! The flames of Nehru have transformed your blade, expanding V's powers. She can now help you use your dowsing ability to search for more objects. Ooh. More length attained. Beautiful. And don't that blade... Isn't it starting to look a little familiar? Just saying. Oh no. That growth on his hand. Link, you should really see a doctor. Symptoms are persisting. Your tattoo is lasting more than 4 hours.
With your sword in hands, you can learn a new melody. I recommend we return to the Isle of Songs.
Yeah, it looks like Dragon Quest. Yeah, it's Erdrick's sword. Spoilers, Link was Erdrick the whole time? You mean that the hero was in Smash already? They didn't even need to add DLC.
Thank you for getting me my ship back. Huh? It may have been half wrecked, but my crew and I got it shaped up to almost proper working order in no time. Huh? I wish you good luck in finding whomever it is you're looking for. Whoop. Come visit again. You're welcome anytime. Whoop.
When the birthmark changes. That's how you know you're the main character of an anime. You've had it the whole time. That funny little mark on your hand. It really makes you the reincarnation of the luminary. Whatever that means. Funny little blob fellas. I don't even need to kill him. I'm just getting out of here. Thank you, Mr. Captain Man. This is his fate. Just to live out here in eternity in the past with a time shift stone. He knows that he's stuck in a time loop. If he steps even 1 foot out of his safe space here, then he's dust in the wind. That's a little bit of a sad existence, don't you think? To know you are already dead, and the aid of a time-traveling adventurer is what's keeping you alive. Also the implication that, you know, he just stood there for 1,000 years and died of rust until his batteries ran out. Yeah, Wolfie, what's up? How you doing? Welcome back. No great Ace Attorney today, but we're continuing some Skyward Sword. We just finished the Sand Ship. One of my favorite dungeons. It's been a long time since I played it. All we are is dust in the wind. Ooh, let's see if we got any goddess chests. Did we? I know we have at least one. Maybe they'll show up when we get back to Skyloft. But what order of businesses can we take on? I can... Ooh, I think there's some side quests waiting for us. We can do the clean cut again. And just main old Skyloft, you know? Hope you're doing well. You like the Moblin's idea of self-preservation in the last stream? Oh yeah, in the ship. After I turned on the time shift stone, they closed it again. I wonder if they perceive time going back and forth, or to them I just appeared out of nowhere. Whoa, Link, thanks for all your help. My bird is back to full health. Thank you so much. And as such, she is no longer plot relevant to the game for the rest of all time. 'Tis a sad existence. Bong! I think we can buy a thing or two from Beetle Shop. Finally! I would like that life medal, please. Up. Up. Yeah! Predictions for Breath of the Wild 2. Wow, Link! The evil Pollet Swat Wink. Wink, wink, Link! So, Dark Link. Uh-oh, they've already done it! I wouldn't put it past Nintendo to, like, redo similar concepts but call them new things. Why, Link? Alternate costume for a Smash Brothers? Nah, I don't really want to know why you're on a bike. Look, you don't need to explain yourself for staying fit. Fine then, just don't break my concentration. With you on board, I have to pedal as hard as I can because of all that extra weight. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to be rude. Please have a look around. Ouch. It's my last one, so it's a little expensive. Price is 1,200 rupees. I can't afford that. Oh, take a look at the other things I have for sale. How does this guy stay in business? He should, like, hire someone to ride his little bike. That's a life medal. It bestows a bunch of mysterious and mystical effects. Somehow. Finally. Give it to me. Da-da-da-da.
Thank you!
Oh, it really suits you. Yes, yes, yes. Those little bokoblins and the moblins are the big boys. When did Zelda games start, like, making the distinction between moblins and bokoblins, huh? Was it Twilight Princess? I think it might have been. Yeah. Yeah. He called Link fat. It's just all this gear I got, man. I'm walking around with an entire inventory of bombs and beetles and nets and claws and whips and chains and all this stuff. Where does he put it all? Maybe Fee is an alternate dimension pocket space, and Link just, like, stuffs it all in her mouth. Oh, yeah, that's a goddess chest right here. Wind Waker? I think you're right. Yeah, Wind Waker has... The small boys are the bokoblins, but the big old, like, pig lads with the spears, those are the moblins. Yeah, you're right. Gold Rupee. What really doesn't help is the fact that in Twilight Princess, you can't lock on to enemies to get their name. Like you can in Ocarina of Time, you know? So I kind of just have to guess what they're called, or look them up. Wind Waker mini blins. Do not remind me of the mini blins. Upgrade. Beetle gets sassier each game. He's definitely got a unique personality. He's not just the same guy. You ever wonder, does he, like, reincarnate in the same way that Link and Zelda do? I didn't get any bird feathers. Dang. Ooh, but my bow, though. Ooh. Iron bow. Increased attack power. Yes, please. Worth it. Could it be that Beetle is like the destined merchant? He's got the mythical missing Triforce piece, the one that goes in the middle that everyone talks about. The Triforce of Commerce. All done, here you go. Ooh. And I'd use that in Hyrule Warriors. Look at that, it's pretty. Crafted for the expert bowman, this bow has increased attack power and can launch arrows even further. If you've got anything else you wanted me to tinker around with, you just let me know. Bird feathers, huh? I do got a giant bird. I'm not plucking feathers off my loft wing. Maybe I might. Maybe it's worth it.
A report, Master. Because of the improvements to your sword, you can now use your dowsing ability to locate treasure. Please use the additional entry.
That's pretty random. Oh, because I need treasure for upgrades. Actually, that makes sense. You know when yeah, Beetle in Breath of the Wild. The way he's actually pretty useful, he's like one of the only places that stocks arrows. But also, if you happen to talk to him while holding a beetle, whether you've already given him one or not, he'll just beg that you sell it to him. Like how Agatha in Twilight Princess knows you have a beetle. Like, I know you still have bugs. Just let me have them. And you won't use them for anything else. They'll be happier with me. Upgrade. Alright. Okay! Okay! Every single time. Every time the man wants your beetles. I need those beetles for potions, man! Forgot beetle was an emote. It's one of those stealthy ones, you know? Lineback. Let's get Lineback for Smash. Last time we were talking about what characters we want. Oh, hello? You got something for me? I've been thinking of maybe we should get a Zelda rep. Because if we can get Piranha Plant, if the last DLC character is going to be like first-party Nintendo character but is not a major character in their series, let's get Lineback. He'd be unique. Give him like pirate theming, shooting cannons, and writing maps. Aha, my friend! I got a new treasure today! My latest treasure is a finely crafted small quiver! For discerning bowlers, it is simply a must! Take a look for yourself! Ooh. That's a small quiver! Do I got room in my pouch? Let me check. I'm just checking, man! Gosh! Don't gotta get sassy with me. I don't. We got the life medal. That's giving us an extra heart if you noticed. It's pretty good. I also don't need this many bottles. I'm gonna put one away. What if we get Beetle for Smash? Yes. Beetle Lineback Tag Team Combo.
Oh, you're back. I'll hold on to anything of yours you want me to. Something in your pouch today you want to deposit or something you want to pick up?
Yes, please.
Wonderful. So what do you have?
Hey, she's looking chipper today. She's in a good mood. I wonder why. She must see something she really likes. What?
Bye.
Oh, I never heard that before. Well. I must say her attitude has really changed for the better. Maybe she's finally enjoying her job. You gotta imagine, though, Link is probably the only person who actually uses the item check at all. So her job is just like sitting around here all day, doing absolutely nothing. But now she's taking part in history, right? You're looking to get your grub on. The food here is so good. You gotta be patient, though. It seems like you wait forever for anything around here. Oh, you know, I'm just here for some water, free breadsticks. At least we have 3 different Links in Smash. Let's go. Zelda, underrepresented when it comes to playable characters. Definitely underrepresented as far as new characters since Melee, because there have been 0. I will say about like clone characters, Echo Fighters, I like the approach that Dr. Mario and Mario have for it, where if a character has changed in some major way since a previous Smash game, then the Echo Fighter preserves the old playstyle. Like, Mario added Flood for his down B for ever since Brawl, right? But what if you wanted a Mario with a down B that was the spin attack? Well, you got Dr. Mario for that. That actually works pretty well. And if you want a Link that's a little faster and doesn't have remote bombs and has a grappling hook, hook shot, then you got Toon Link and or Young Link for that. I need to go to bed because I feel like something new is going to happen in the world of Mr. Fledge. He's been training all this time. I'll just sleep in Colin's bed. I mean, he's not using it. He sleeps in Groose's bed now with his new girlfriend, the Ghost Hand. Oh, jeez. King of Red Lions. Ever since Hyrule Warriors, I do believe he can fight. Wind Waker Bokoblin, and they use that booty. They do got a juicy booty, but who got juicier though? Wind Waker Moblins or the Skyward Sword big boys? I don't know. Where's my room? How am I lost? I should know. Oh, this is my room. So Fledge is right here. Tetra, Ghost Hand, Toon Zelda. Look at him go! Nintendo 63, Nintendo 64, Nintendo 65. You can't have a Nintendo 65, that's illegal. 3,985, 3,986, 3,987, 3,988. I'm more impressed that he can talk that fast. Phew! Well, that was a nice warm-up. Fledge, you're insane. Did he take the Captain America Super Serum? He's Captain Skyloft. Here, put on this Loftwing emblazoned suit and sell war bonds. Hey, Link, I was just hoping you'd come by. I wanted to ask you something. The other day I tried lifting some barrels, and I was able to do it with one arm. Actually, one finger. Actually, I'm too strong. I opened my door, and it just flew off the hinges. And then I shook Gapora's hand, and I crushed his bones. Help! Link! I can't function anymore in society! Link! It's too much! I need an unstamina potion! Link! What have you done to me? What have you done? Too strong. Do I look strong? Too strong. Huh? Aw, you're just saying that. But it's still nice to hear it. It's all thanks to you, Link. What have I done? What have I created?
I would have gotten discouraged if you hadn't come by to cheer me on. You gave me motivation. Thank you so much, Link.
You like the Wind Waker enemies more. Fair enough. Gratitude crystals, 5 of them. Delicious. What do they taste like, you think? Knowing that they spew forth from people's bodies. These aren't even 2 different rooms. They're just divided by a screen. The same thing is in the other rooms. And notice how between me and Fledge's room, you got this nice screen divider. But if you go over to like Colin and Stritch's room and Bruce's room, it's almost like they had to divide them themselves. I guess this is also nice, but instead of a screen, it's more like a actual wooden like board wall. It's interesting. But notice how Colin and Stritch get this little tiny area with all their stuff crammed together. It barely fit a desk. You got a couch, I guess. You just get this little space to move around in. This is just like one of my dorms in college, actually. They really crammed a lot of people in. They had to build so much new housing. And then you look at Bruce's room, and it's the entire rest of everything. It's okay, the new lovebirds need their space.
Help!
Ah, my love, I will always be by your side.
Wow. May they be forever together. In sickness and in death. Because one of them is dead, and the other's sick. In the head. No, he's fine. Fledge is drinking Michael's secret stuff. You know, Michael, the secret stuff. This is not my room, but I'll sleep here anyway. Yeah. Thanks for the crystals, Fledge. Bruce even has a painting of himself. They outdid themselves. Nintendo did with the lore and the kind of environmental storytelling in this game. Like, Bruce does start out as a jerk bully, and it shows because he starts the game with just like pictures of himself, that punching bag with Link's face on it, the fact that he takes up this entire room. What's up, Colin? You have a good sleep?
What do you want, Link? I won't forget what you done to me.
I've already read that. It's alright, buddy. It's okay. He'll wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, and he'll realize he was never alone. Never alone. Isn't there like one of those SCPs? That creepypasta kind of thing. One of them is like, you install an app. Like, oh, you'll never not have a friend once you install this app. And then just this demon monster starts existing in your close proximity all the time. Like, you never see them, but every time you take a picture of yourself or like look in a mirror, they'll be there just watching you and hanging out with you. You'll never be alone again. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrifying. They don't do anything to you. You just have a friend now. Forever. Thanktwig says, wow, they brought back the bathroom hand. Yeah. Thank. Oh, no, wait. Whoa! Paper!
Welcome. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be sighing in front of a customer. You see, recently I haven't been able to sleep at night. Sorry, I also shouldn't be complaining in front of a customer. Again. Hello, welcome to my humble little side business over here. I infused the potion my wife sells.
Oh, no. Oh, what? Why haven't you been able to sleep, sir? I wonder. Go talk to him at night. You know, raising a baby's hard. Wait a minute! You just want to know about these hands. These hands have digestive systems. That's all you need. Toucan Burrito, thank you for the raid. Not real Eric, Toucan raid, uh-huh. Are you responsible for this? Do I have you to blame? You know, it always seems like I'm in Skyloft when I get one of these raids. Can we get a shout out for Toucan Burrito? What were you playing? And hope it was fun. So we got a lot of new equipment since the last time. Basically all the equipment. I would like to make use of these. Especially now that we have the claw shots, the world is our clam. Or oyster. I hear a kitty. What? He's fine. Look. Good kitty. Oh, look at you. Oh, he flying. Oh, he flying. How do I give you pets? Let me give you a shout out. Toucan Burrito. Reminds you of a comic you read. A monster starts reaching under the bed. The person grabs the hand. What a power move.
It's me who you should be afraid of.
It was just Mike Wazowski looking for his contact lens. Toucan's first stream? Well, congratulations. Hope it was fun. Firewatch. I've heard of that game. It's one of them emotional games, ain't it? It's one of those kind of story-based ones, huh? How do I get over there? That's weird. Oh, maybe I climb up this? Congratulations. Hope you had a fun time. Everybody go help out Toucan Burrito. Give them a follow. Give them a follow. And I just hope it was a fun time. I hear that game is pretty good. I have it, but I haven't played it myself. Pizza Heart. One more. Ooh. An opportunity to play for some Dosh cash like a street performer. Whoa. Boing. Firewatch pretty sad. Uh-oh. Well, I still hope you had a fun time. I hope you're having a good Friday the 13th. Hopefully it wasn't too unlucky. You didn't walk under any ladders or pet any black cats, did you? Ladders for the luck, and cats because cats are adorable. Thanks for the chicken. Ooh! Money! When you think about it, though, I'm just trading one arrow for each rupee. Is that a good exchange rate? Boing! Gossip stones are pretty silly. I'ma catch you. What's your tip?
You're a weird one. Climbing all the way up here. Yay, if you tried to dive off the ledge here, I bet you could land on the nest on top of the tower down there. But what do I know? I'm a stone.
Oh. You know what they say, a rolling stone gathers no moss. Have you tried rolling? Have you tried being a jumping jack flash and a gas? Skydive! Ow. Only the person I know of, because Eric and me were online. Oh, well, you know. Thank you for that raid. Your first ever raid, then. Thanks for choosing the right place. Because, here, you get a gold rupee. I'll pass this on to you. What's your PayPal? Shh, don't tell anyone. Why wouldn't I tell anyone? You think Link can't trust his classmates and acquaintances in Skyloft to the point where, like, just because you have a little bit of cash, they won't just ask you for money? That's one of the things that, if I ever win the lottery, not that I even play the lottery, because I actually don't, I'd rather spend my money on video games. At least I know those increase in value. But, I just wouldn't tell anybody. Not to be greedy, but just to save the headache of people asking for money because they know I have money. But what if I already had plans to use that for specific things? Like, I don't know. I just live the same. Just have a nice little cushion in case I need, like, medical bills or something, you know? Dive! Oh no! Abort mission! Ah, the world's first Halo jump. Toucan's burrito, Saturday for you. No problems, had a lot of fun. Emotional support mod, okay. 6:30 a.m. Oh goodness, have a good night. Thanks for coming on by. Man, time zones are crazy. Here's a tip for you, for sure. Don't feel pressured to go on as long as you can, like physically can. Like, it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to, you know, dip out a little early just to get some rest. That's something very important to remember. And your viewership will understand, but have a good night. And congratulations again. Random question. What's my best video game related thrift store find? Oh, that's a good one. It's hard to say. Because nowadays... Hey, what's that? Is that like a chart of some sort? What is this? Can I dig this out? Hello? Oh, it's a little baby rattle. Why? Perhaps somebody dropped it? Well, I just did this completely unrelated to the reason I needed it. So I guess I can just skip that. Well, I'll still talk to that guy at night. Basically, he can't sleep because his baby's been crying because the baby don't got no rattle. It's been missing. A bird took it. And now we know why. Okay, so best video game thrift store find. The thing is, lately, whenever I go to thrift stores, there's no video games ever. Because I live in a big city, so, you know, the minute one of those things gets donated, you know a hardcore collector that checks every day would have already just totally swiped it. But when I was a kid, I used to go to the swap meet, and back when they were still selling Super Nintendo games at those things, I got Super Mario RPG for only 13 bucks. I remember because I asked my mom for money because I was still a kid then. I didn't have money. And she was like, that's too expensive. I'm like, you don't understand, Mom. This game's gonna become super expensive in the future. And I was right, because the game goes for like 60 bucks now. You know, I haven't checked in a while. It went for 60 bucks like a couple years back. But now that video game prices are going out the wazoo, I bet it's like $90 now. Let's check. Super Mario RPG, loose price, 80 bucks. Yeah, I was right on the money. Sadly. That makes me sad, but also happy I have a copy. I wish it had like the box and manual, but you know, you can only hope for so much. Let's go to the cutting minigame. I never have to do the clown minigame ever again, thank goodness. Oh no! All money goes to Dragon Quest. It's law. Haru, I have all the Dragon Quest games already. What would I spend it on? More Dragon Quest games. Like one of those things where you see a game that's worth $300, and even if you already have it, you see it going for 50. You're like, well, I gotta get it before a scalper does. You know, me. Someone who would just hold on to it and not really let go of it until, like, somebody paid me a price it was worth, so in effect, I am the scalper. No! I don't do that. Totally don't do that. Doesn't hurt opening 35 copies of Dragon Quest X. You really gonna go for every physical release of that? That's the MMO. So what basically happened is that they released a version for every patch, every major patch. So there are a million different copies of Dragon Quest X, even though they're all the same. The patches are free. For those who don't know. $13, that's a steal. At the time, it actually might have been a bit more expensive. I don't know. What do you guys think? Will retro games ever go back to the way they were? I don't mean like Super Nintendo games for $5. You know, back before GameStop bought out Funko Land and EB Games and I don't think that'll ever happen again. But I just want to buy, I don't know, Dragon Quest V for the DS for no more than $80, I'll say. Like, I know it's worth a lot more, and I understand why it's worth a lot more. But I draw the line of ridiculousness. I'll still pay for it. But I'll draw the line of calling it not too bad at twice the original MSRP. Because at that point, you know everyone is just price gouging. Yeah, going for everything. How's it going, Link? Good to see you again. How's that slicing arm feel? I'm in. Current high score is 36. You're gonna need your A game to top that, Lois. Alright then, get to slicing. Yeah. I'm ready. No. Oh no! I did my strategy. It turned out all bad. 20! That's what I'm talking about. You really brutalized that bamboo boy. Here's your prize. Cool. I still get the horn. Shriggity shwoody, I'm coming for that looty. The key to this minigame is you're supposed to come back every time your sword lengthens. Because that's a thing, apparently. It lets you slice faster. Games will probably never go back, but at least we'll have memories. And memories make me sad. You like the guy's sleeves. They got a sense of fashion up here in Skyloft, I will say. 34? No, I'm supposed to beat my old score. Hold up, son, you're all done. 34, that's one humding-a-linger of a score. Oh yeah. Honestly, a pretty good way to farm for rarer parts. But I know there's something better. I might have to come back after the third Sacred Flame. No! Just don't sell them ever. Easy. Keep your game collection till the day you die. No. Bury me with my Dragon Quest collection. Money! Didn't even get 17. Didn't even get 20, I mean. I'll try one more time. I actually don't know if I can do better than my current best. F. 34 is still pretty good. Ooh. Dang. Alright, now I finally respect this man's gut. I mean his high score of 43 slices. 35! That's one humding-a-linger. Here's your prize. It's a mystery box. It could be anything, even a boat. Thank you, Peter. Hey, Peter. Do-do-do. Felt like playing Wind Waker, borrowed it from your cousin, beat it, now it's expensive. That's kinda how I got a copy of Star Fox Assault for the GameCube. In that I never actually got a copy of Star Fox Assault, but I borrowed it from a friend when I was in high school. And I just never returned it. Not that, like, I stole it from him. Like, it's not like, oh, I never saw him ever again. No, I still, like, talk to him and hang out with him every now and then. But, like, I just never had occasion to return it. He's never had occasion to ask for it back. Actually, I did end up buying a copy for myself. I just also have his copy. Alright, what else can we do? Let's take it down to nighttime. We can do something about that, not getting any sleep problem. that Mr. Husband Father Man has. Husband Father Man. We need a superhero like that. Be a good role model. You know? You got your copy of Pokemon Snap that way. Oh yes, oh good, I picked the dirty house to sleep in. Is it weird that one of my biggest motivations for cleaning is just not waking up to like a stuffy atmosphere with dust? I guess that's why you clean in the first place? But I've definitely been in like situations in college where I move into an already dirty place. Because, you know, I'll just take anywhere that's cheap. Just call me Soseki Natsume. It's haunted! And it's also cheap. Gondo's house. I know they live here around here somewhere. Birdie, here we go. Pokemon Channel. Ah, I need to see if a copy of Pokemon Channel isn't too expensive. Thanks for the follow, Toucan Burrito, by the way. Realize you don't follow. Well, thank you. Hope you get some good sleep. I hope you caught the advice I said earlier. It's absolutely okay to end stream a little early, even though you know you could go for a couple more hours, just to like get a handle of your sleep schedule, things you need to do before you go to bed, just hanging out with people after stream. That's what I do. Because like even though I end stream before midnight usually, I usually hang out a little bit in whoever I raid's chat, just to, you know, relax for the night.
It doesn't look like I'll get much sleep tonight again.
Why? Are you tired? Are you tired of being nice? Don't you just want to go nuts? Are you tired of not having donuts? Don't you just want to go nuts?
Sorry to worry you. Oh, a baby just goes on and on like this all night. I haven't slept a wink in I don't even know how long.
Well, being a new parent, be like that. Now you gotta go. See ya, have a good night, Toucan Burrito.
Baby usually sleeps like a sack of rocks. But that was before we lost the you-know-what.
There's a bag of rocks? To replace your baby with at night?
The baby's rattle. If we had the you-know-what, then the baby would settle down, but we lost it the other day.
Why are you afraid to say rattle? Does the baby recognize the word? Whenever you say rattle, baby's like,
oh, I don't have my rattle! Ah! A bird picked it up in its beak and flew off with it. Maybe the bird thought it was food, I don't know. Of course, the bird wouldn't have eaten it, so I think it must be somewhere in the town. I just don't know where.
Baby going crazy. Look at this baby. Baby don't even have hands.
It sure would be nice if someone would find it for me.
Found it.
Is that the baby's rattle? You found it?
Wow, so fast.
Who's a sleepy baby? Time for beddy bye. Whew. The baby seems to settle down nicely. I bet the baby will sleep well tonight. Oh, that means I'll finally get a good night's sleep too.
Yeah, I helped out 2 people. I better get double the gratitude crystals for this. Thank you so much. I won't forget what you did for me. Whoop. You had a donut yesterday. You know, I want a donut too. I hope I can get one. Sound familiar. Why does the baby look like Olimar? Because Skyward Sword is also a prequel to not just every Zelda game, but also to Pikmin. Actually, Skyward Sword is the connecting game for every single game in the Nintendo lore, you know? Because the Loftwing evolve into the Chozo, become super intelligent, invent technology, and found planets like Zebes. And then you have Metroid. They raise Samus as their own. Samus is actually one of the reincarnations of Princess Zelda. It all makes sense. Get out of here. Alright. I wonder what my next milestone is for Batch Row. I think it's 50. Which, I already have, what was that, 45 of them? Of the gratitude crystals? So, actually just help one more person and we're good to go there. Loftwing becoming Chozo, you never thought it would happen. You never expected it. I'm a little confused though. Wasn't Groose surprised at the existence of tiny birds? So what bird took away the baby rattle? A medium-sized bird? It's gotta be. By the way, sir, I'm gonna sleep in your bed. Hope you don't mind. But I was gonna get a good night's sleep tonight. You gotta make sure the baby... Maybe the rattle wasn't the problem. You gotta just check, sir. Okay. After all that, Birdie still doesn't get to sleep. Do Zelda babies grow hands later in life? Yes. Just like how in the TV show Gravity Falls, children have 4 fingers on their hands, like most cartoons made in America, but adults have 5 fingers on their hands. And that's just kind of weird. Like, do you just grow a finger later in life? Do they fall off and then grow back in one by one? Also, I finally found Rupin's house, so let's actually go check that out tonight. I haven't done that yet. I'm legitimately just doing whatever I can in Skyloft because I don't want to go down to the ground until next week. Yeah, this was gonna be a shorter stream. Always was. Yeah. Dominate the Nation says, oh yeah, babies grow hands. Just each finger falls off. You lose your baby fingers, but then you get your adult fingers. Some people get extra. We call them wisdom fingers. There are smaller birds around the sky. All right, then I guess Groose just never goes outside. Tiny birds? Is this Rupin's wife? Why have I never seen her? Gazelle.
I love to collect antiques, you know. All the things you see in my house are very old and valuable.
Even your husband?
Even my husband. Make sure you don't break anything.
Oh. Oh. Ma'am, have you ever heard of Link? There are actually... Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
No! How could you?
Hey!
You broke my antique. That's it. You break it, you buy it. Let me see now. That was a very expensive antique, so 20 rupees should suffice. What's that look for? Oh, you think I'm just making that number up? That's ridiculous. I know the value of every item in my possession, and I intended to be compensated in full. Next time that happens, we're going to have words.
What kind of words? Oh no, not those words. Hey, hey. Look, AOL, AmericaOnline.com. How you doing? Don't like these thoughts of hands. I'm sorry. We're just teaching some people about Hylian biology. Fingers are like teeth, where you start with none on your hands. You just got these little stubs, and then as they grow and you get your baby fingers, they fall out. You get your adult fingers. It's very simple. Like, it's very analogous to human teeth. It's totally normal. 20 rupees. Yeah, I'm surprised she let me off that easily when, I don't know, the rich dude in Wind Waker charged a lot more. I was expecting to just lose my entire rupee wallet. You want to do some shopping? Just come back to the shop tomorrow. Okay. Me when stream is over. Hey, what do you need? But when you say that means you don't have a good reason to be here, huh? What, you think I'm being gruff? You think I'm totally different during the day? Well, I get tired of having to be a smiley shopkeeper all day, alright? Just don't think that this is the real me. Anyway, enough about that. You're here to make some money at my night market, right? Night market? Yo, we selling organs? Yeah, I'm selling organs. Need new baby fingers? 20 rupees per. Very expensive. It's your first time here, isn't it? Oh well. Night is when I do my buying, see? I buy treasure. But that's not to say I buy just any old thing. I only deal in specific types of treasure. Right, let's get on with it, shall we? So, today I'm buying these treasures. Hornet larva, Elden ore, jelly blobs, and evil crystals. Just these 4. So what do you want to do? Oh! 20 rupees for a dozen dishes. Not that bad, actually. I think I got extra jelly blobs. How much? Ooh! 30. He pays more for one jelly blob than his wife's entire pottery collection. Alright, time to make my money back. 31? Let's get just to get all of them. How much is that? Ooh, that's a lot of roops. 600? 930. Oops. How do I math? Can I even carry that much? I think so. Alright, here's your money. Thanks. Come back soon. Dude! I got a pretty elite amount of cash. I didn't plan that at all. Hey, it's destiny. I feel old now, because how many people just know what leet is? OMG to hacksaws? WTF BBQ. Like, totally, dude. Roxor's my boxors. Roxor's my socksors. Hey, we can finally afford that last pouch from Beetle, too. Yo, this actually is perfect. What else do I need to do at night? Hold on, let me think. And by think, I mean just walk in a circle while I, look at my little, I'm not looking at the little walkthrough, no. Yes. Alright, daytime, let's go. Oh, I forgot about the leet-speaking Koopas and Partners in Time, Mario and Luigi. I was talking about this during my Ace Attorney stream, but games that try to put relevant memes into their dialogue inevitably get dated, but if done well, can actually be a nostalgic trip through time. How Ace Attorney has that one nerd scriptwriter dude, works at a movie studio, and he speaks almost exclusively in leet speak until like he goes to court as a witness, and then Edgeworth like slaps some sense into him and says, "You will speak normally, or else you will get thrown in jail." Yes, sir. Partners in Time had the Koopas. Dated on release. Also true. It's just, it lives in a weird place. Like, if it actually fits into the dialogue. Phoenix Wright 3 talks about Sharknado, for crying out loud. Great Ace Attorney just had a line that was like, yes, that's the T. Where am I going? I'm going to, I know where. Pumpkins. Felt more like the latter to you in that example. Yeah, a little bit. But that character's supposed to be cringe. So that's why it actually works, I think. Ooh, yeah, here's one of those medium birds. Stop. I need that rope. I want that rope. Give me that rope. No! Fine. You can keep it for all I care. I can just sell jelly blobs to get those. So good. Oh, ladder was nostalgia trip. Okay, good. Roxor's my boxors. It does work. See, that's when I think Ace Attorney's strategy of going hard on doing whatever they feel is appropriate with localizations, it worked better in the first game. It makes sense why, because it didn't have a strong connection to being necessarily Japanese. Don't mind me, Kina, just ruining the crops. We'll start for another year, we shall. Up. Systematically destroying every pumpkin. I thought you needed help making some pie. Jelly Blob Farm, Slime Rancher. Reminds me of how Link just starts a farm full of choo-choos so he can farm jelly blobs to sell. Think he'd do that? Yes, he would. Saturates the market. It reminds me of... I think I've talked about this. There was a country, I forget which one, where they had this snake problem. They were just overpopulated and everywhere. So the government would pay citizens... Why am I here? No, I shouldn't be here. The government would pay citizens to catch snakes and bring them in. But what people would do they would start snake farms and just breed the snakes in captivity to turn into the government for money. So that backfired because there were a bunch more snakes suddenly being born. And on top of that, when the government stopped paying, the farmers just released all the snakes. Okay, there's a very specific reason I'm here. I'm surprised I can't, though. Oh, I see. I just assumed it was here because pumpkins. Don't worry. Not me reading the guide wrong. Slime Rancher is fun. They announced a second game. They announced a port to the Switch, which is pretty cool. All these cool games come to Switch. I mentioned it before. Bomb Rush, Cyberpunk, Eastward. Really need to go back to Ace Attorney. I'll recommend it. They're nice little windows into time. Oh, Slime Rancher 2 has been announced. That's cool. Let's go. Speaking of Ace Attorney, actually, right now on the 3DS eShop, every 3DS game is on sale. At least in America. So you can get the 3DS port of Apollo Justice. That's the 4th game. I didn't realize that came out in America. I didn't know it existed. I guess it just missed me by because I already played Apollo Justice on the DS. The Trilogy Collection, which before it got ported to PC and Switch, it was on 3DS. That's on sale there. Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice are on sale. All of them are all on there. If you need a cheap way to play them and you haven't played the rest of the series, you have a 3DS, perfect time to get them. And they're not available physically for 3DS in America anyway, so there's not really any way to wait. There's no benefit to not buying them now if you want them on 3DS. Yeah. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I need to play some Jet Set Radio. When we're close to the end of Skyward Sword, what I want to do is play some more just one-off or just a couple stream games. Ones I can finish in a couple of hours. I want to play Jet Set Radio. I don't want to do too many streams of it because it's going to get copyright claimed for sure. So it might be a stream-only thing. Like, I don't put the video up on the VOD up on YouTube, or like I cut it intensely. Just cut every song out. A little sad, but at least you get to catch it live. Hey, Link! At Jet Set Radio Future too! People found out how to mod custom music in the future. So maybe I could mod out the copyright music and then put in other game music. That might work. I pretty much maxed out on push-ups. Wonder what exercise I can pick up next. Whoa, that's one sweet bow you got there, Link. Oh, you like my bow, huh? But you're a total natural with it, too. How do you see my bow? I didn't even take it out. Why are you blushing? You know it's true. Oh, you're just saying nice things. I got it. Why don't you show me how good you are with your bow? I'm going to toss some pumpkins into the air, okay? You show me how good you are by filling them full of arrows and wasting our land's food supply. You know it's our only crop. 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay. I'll toss pumpkins for 90 seconds. 10 points for each pumpkin. The more you hit, the more you get. And one more thing, it'll cost you 20 rupees. Why are you... You're charging me. With his newfound strength, he's found newfound greed. Sir, I'm the one who bought those stamina potions for you. The least you could do is make the first few rounds free as, you know, payment. No, now I regret not charging him for the potions. Alright, let's get started. Show me how it's done, Link. You can't figure out how to connect to the internet on your 3DS. What? It's in the settings. Shouldn't be too hard. Although I think there's some Wi-Fi security options that don't work on 3DS. Oops. What if I shoot it out of Fledge's hands? No, that doesn't work. I tried to shoot it as soon as it left his hands. What was that one? Alright, I'll stop being fancy. Combo. Combo.
Mom.
Monster kill.
Alright then. Alright then.
Dusty Cougar, thank you for the sub. 9 months, Twitch baby. What do we call it? Call it Little Pumpkin? Little Pumpkin.
This is what I do to pumpkins. Ha! And ha! Aw, jeez.
It's getting ever so slightly off sync.
Hey! Yeah.
Couldn't I thrown that one a little faster, Fledge? Come on. Oh, the Twitch baby! Don't shoot it. Oh, too late. Oops. Sorry, Dusty Cougar. How you doing? Hope you're reduced to atoms. Well, I hope you're doing well. Don't worry. We'll just have another baby. What? Hope your night's going well. Happy Friday the 13th. Wow, 270 points. Nice job, Link. It's not the best score ever, but you were pretty smooth. You're pretty smooth. Well, thank you. I do use lotion. Next time, I want you to aim for at least 400 points. Here's 50 rupees I earned from doing chores for the grumpy kitchen lady. For the grumpy kitchen lady. Drop by when you want to try again. Hey, now you know that's a net gain. Now that I know how this works, let's go for the high score. I won't miss a single pumpkin. Watch. Watch me. Ow!
Don't hit me. I'll hit me. Dang it.
You know, I'm moving the bow so I can see Fledge. I just shouldn't do that. Okay, I can see him fine in the bottom corner there. That way I don't have to move my aim too much. This will be 400 easy. Kind of feels like the bow goes down with each shot. 50.
Oh!
He's throwing them more laterally now. What was that, Fledge? That's mean. You know, I'm so close to 400. Nice try, bucko. Sniped him at the last second. 420, blaze it. Oh. 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 Sorry. 400.
Wow, 420 points! Nice. That's great, Link. You're good at everything you do, Link. Here's your prize.
Wow, a flower. Can I get the money instead? Can I just get money instead? I could just pick these up off the ground.
What? These are super rare. You can't even find these in Skyloft.
Well, I got my sources, Fletch. It's like getting paid in rare video games, but you actually have a warehouse full of copies of all the Dragon Quest games. Like, thank you. Yeah. Watch the OG Friday the 13th today. Oh, with some Jason Voorhees. Pretty good. Confused on his grade, he gives 50 rupees for that. Yeah, no, that's the real scam. For the good scores, he gives like crap prizes. Yeah. Elite rupees to 420 points, baby. Now, what can I get 69 of?
Dude, great to see us hit 600 points and set a record next time. Give it your best shot.
You know what I appreciate? That this minigame gives me arrows. Because I just remember Twilight Princess with the whole Hawkeye thing, and Mallow is like, "Hey, can you shoot that pole on top of the building? We're not gonna give you arrows to do it, but you know, if you're out, just buy some. Just buy some rupees from me." Mallow. Coming back to pumpkin shooting, and coming back to us beating the high score. Let's go. We'll go for 600 this time. That last one was clutch. I only just made enough points with the last shot. Oh, come on. You joke that Jason's a good guy because he kills naughty teens. He's a regular vigilante, he is. Naughty teens, people who use drugs. He's not killing them, he's just, sending their spirits to horny jail. It just has the side effect of parting them from their mortal bodies. Oh, come on. This Joy-Con is drifting, but not like stick drifting. Ugh. Like, I center it... I move my wrist back to where the center was, and it's not there anymore. Kinda missed the IR pointer. Oh, come on! Whew. What? What? Whew. I at least beat my last score. Your gyro drifting is a thing. Well, calibrate, dang you, calibrate! Like how you have to calibrate modern Android phones and iPhones to your GPS. You have to like move it in a figure 8. Not sure how that works, but that's how you do it. Dude's got Dusk Relics? Where's he picking these up? Fledge, are you going out and adventuring without telling me? Yeah, I went out on my loft wing the other day and I accidentally fell into this hole in the sky. I don't know how it got there, but those beams of light have been shining through them ever since the other day. I had like an adventure down there. I met this, you wouldn't believe it. I found this sword and it has a spirit in it, a ghost. A ghost? Yeah, it talks to me and tells me my Wii remote batteries are low. Fledge? Fledge was the hero of time all along. Hero of time, yes. He gets to be the hero of time before any Link does. We just never knew. Alright, 600, let's go! You're bad at this minigame. Don't know if it's depth perception. Well, this game isn't in 3D, so... depth perception can probably be forgiven. I think it's more about motion tracking with your eyes and hands. Hand-eye coordination, that's the word. I wonder if someone can get really good at cheesing it just like hit the pumpkin as soon as it leaves his hand. That way you don't have to gauge the pumpkin's trajectory at all. That's probably harder. Okay, I'm not gonna wait for it to drop. I'm just gonna shoot it in the air. I'm not waiting for like the dip in the parabolic motion. I'm just gonna go for like a swipe. Woo! Hey, what? Oh, it still kills the combo if you miss. Even if the pumpkin didn't drop to the ground. Oh, come on! He's toying with my emotions. Woo! Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby! Ah, good enough. 670. Can we get a 700? Can we get a 700, baby? Woo! Aim where you think they'll go. They do move a little slower than I expect. Like, they don't follow physics. They don't like... whoop, if that makes sense. They don't speed up and then decelerate with gravity. They just kind of keep the same speed the whole time. I think that might be throwing people off. You got 670 points! That's beyond amazing, Link! On the inside, he's just seething. Tries to mess me up. The hopes of the Knight Academy are truly riding on your shoulders, Link. Take this symbol of friendship between you and me. Pizza Heart. I want to start a pizza place. I'll call it Pizza Heart. You know, I know a pizza place called Pizza My Heart, so that's not even unique. Drop by when you want to try again. Do I get better prizes? What happens if I get 600 again? Hold on, let's try. I want to see. I believe. Thank you, Nate. You did believe, and it paid off. There are floaty pumpkins, but only when Fledge... Okay. Okay. They're only floaty when Fledge throws them. You know what? He hasn't gotten stronger at all. You know what the stamina potions have done? They gave him gravity powers. He's not, without even knowing it, he's making everything around him lighter. That's why push-ups are so easy. He's lightening his clothes. So that his shirt pulls him up when he does a push-up. And these pumpkins are defying gravity themselves. They don't 9.8 meters per second. We've created Hyrule's first pumpkin bender. Oh, jeez! I kind of wish this was like some of the Wii first-person shooters, like Metroid Prime 3. I think Medal of Honor also had it where you can adjust the bounding box where you aim too far and it starts moving the camera. As much as possible, I don't want to move the camera. Cool. Just had to get at least one little cheeky extra pumpkin. You got 630 points! Here, take this! Oh, rare items. Well, thank you, Fledge. I still would rather have money, though. Don't worry, we're fine. We got enough money to pay off Beetle. Pay off the you're too heavy tax. That's really the thing. His prices, when normal people get up there, you know, like $50, 50 rupees for an adventurer's pouch, ain't no thing. It's only us that he charges extra for, because he knows we can pay that much. That's why his shop is floating. He, like, legitimately fixes prices, because he knows it's us. No, come back! It's all a scam. Only one person's allowed in the shop at a time. So that nobody can, like, be like, wait a minute, when I was here the other day, it cost this much. Beetle, stop. Press A once. Press A once. I kept mashing A and Link let go immediately. You cheesed it with the button controls. Shoot the pumpkin right after it leaves his hands. That's a valid strategy. That's what I was trying to do. I just wasn't consistent with the timing. You got a Pizza Hut. How much does that cost? Oh, you have great taste in things. Isn't it shiny? I found it someplace nearby. I can rotate them. Why have I never known you could rotate items in this game? You know what? It's only with the right stick. Maybe did they add this for the Switch version? Because the Wii doesn't have a right stick. Wee. To be honest, I have no idea what it's for, but I'll sell it to you for 1,600. Sure. Oh no, you don't have enough rupees. Look at my face. If that's your idea of a joke, I'm not laughing. You don't even know what it is, man. What are you doing? You checking pricecharting.com, trying to set scalper prices? They're not real. They're not real prices. Oh. Beetle heard me talking shit. This thing will open up another space on your adventure pouch. 1,200. Fine. If Beetle didn't have a monopoly on these things, I swear. Cool. Oh, it really suits you. The game is waiting for the money to drop. Yay. Bye-bye. He's lightening the entire island. Fledge alone is responsible for keeping Skyloft aloft. If he so much as blinks, that's why he never goes to sleep. If he actually falls unconscious for any reason, Skyloft plummets into the ground. He's been cursed with insomnia. We just never knew it. Whoa, mind blown. Just, don't mind me, just, seeing what else we could do while we're here. Any goddess chests around, maybe? Because I think I've exhausted the side quests I can do. Look, this is still in baby bottle mode. Baby rattle mode. Baby bottle pop. Baby bottle pop. I was hoping I'd get more gratitude crystals by now. Dang. I like that beetle icon. It's kind of creepy. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look like him. Why is that? It looks like the hair is too small. He looks like Morty from Rick and Morty. Like the way his hair is just like on the back of his head. Aw, jeez, Link. You know, you're kind of heavy. I have to pedal extra hard to keep you in my shop. Oh, jeez. Protect the Master Emerald. We're talking about Knuckles again. Good old Idris Elba. Thank Twig thinks you know about some gratitude crystals. Oh, which ones? Maybe I missed some. Maybe I missed some of the ones at night. Jolfie's going. Have a good night, Shawolfie. Thanks for coming on by. I may not stream for too much longer today. It's gonna be a shorter one for sure. We're holding off on stories, so I'm just taking care of business up in here. In nice little Skyloft. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to put games into my N64. I used to learn how to pronounce Kurare. Thank you, Haru. Loose ones at night. All right, let's see which ones I'm missing. Go to sleep. Whee! Prevent the potion shop owner from sleeping again. Art piece 2? All right, heck yeah, let's take care of business. Every day. When I was a kid, I used to launch games on my N64 just to exist in the world. You know, once games turned 3D and there was a more of an emphasis on, like, explore the world and collect things instead of beat the level. Banjo-Kazooie, Ocarina of Time. Even if I didn't make any story progress, I would just turn it on to just walk around, you know? talk to the people, live in the world, enjoy the music. Did anybody else do that? It's a feeling I miss. I think that's why I like games like Breath of the Wild, where you can kind of just exist in the world. And like, sometimes make progress and other times just explore. Because it's calming, you know? You did that in GTA? Hey, that's also valid. When GTA 5 came out, I used to just walk around, explore Los Angeles, because I live in Los Angeles. It's weird. Like, everything is in about the place I expect it to be, but it's heavily condensed. Like, oh yeah, you need to drive for an hour to get to I don't know, Little Tokyo, Koreatown. And in the game, you just like drive from one end of the city to the other in 5 minutes. And the entirety of Koreatown is just one small shopping plaza where the shops are in Korean. You can't visit any of them, they're just there. Thank Twig, which heart piece are you thinking about? Ooh. I don't think I'll see any gratitude crystals up here. This was the path we took when Fee was leading us into the little area. The secret part of the goddess statue. Played Ocarina of Time like that at first. Being a kid, living in the world. Everyone talking to you as if you're a kid. Like, hey, you want to make some money? Play this video game, kid. Oh, you can't play this mini game. This is for grown-ups. The biggest fantasy in all gaming. Thinking that 17-year-old is enough to be called an adult. Ocarina of Time is to blame for that one. The one in the school. There's one in the school? Does that need to be daytime or nighttime? If you be so kind as to let me know. I'm down for a little backseating today. Just a little. Just a little. Just, tie up some loose ends. I like this little garden that we have behind the goddess statue. It doesn't really serve a purpose other than to be. It's nice. I'd like to have a picnic out here. You couldn't beat the water temple in Ocarina, so you just went around and talked to people. One of the reasons I love Majora's Mask so much is that there's so much to do besides the dungeons. Side quests, help people out, explore at day or night. There's watch people's schedules. Like, it's cool. Probably night. Alright, let's check the school. What's up, Pippet? You weren't supposed to see that whole spectacle, Link. Oh, about his mama. She's paying money for housekeepers. Hey, that's not a waste of money, I think. Because the thing is, if you're paying people to clean for you, like, it's not that you're too lazy to do it yourself. Like, you could, but maybe it's more of a time thing. Oh, gratitude crystals. They just grow on trees. Just one, though. Do. Maybe there's one in the toilet now that there's no ghost hand. What? Why is it closed? What if I need to go? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Link, you're gonna have to hold it until morning. Can't go into Zelda's room? Have I ever been in Zelda's room? I don't think so. Karane. Just be... Oh. You know, this is a little awkward. I totally didn't mean to just come into your room at night. But these birds, though, look at these! Oh my gosh, they're so cute! I want this. I want this. This is adorable. They be so soft. They look like they're crocheted. Wow. Hello? What do you think you're doing in a girl's room at this time of night? I need to take a bath, so get out of here, Link. I mean, I would take a bath if whoever's in there now would hurry up and get out. They've been in there a long time. What? Who's in there? I'm confused. Not the ghost hand. Also, Isn't there not a bath in that bathroom? Oh, this is the second floor. Yeah, that's the bath. Okay, who's in there then? I wonder. Although when I visited Japan, some of the Airbnbs, it was interesting because I could see different arrangements of bathroom. And you wouldn't think bathrooms are anything to, like, be amazed by. But you know they got all that technology in there. But what's interesting is a lot of the bathrooms are set up that there's a drain in the main part of the bathroom. Like, the whole thing is almost like one big shower stall. And yes, there is a little section that's like a bathtub, but what you could do is you could just stand in the middle of the room and kind of take a shower using the shower head that, like, detaches from the wall. I'm just looking around for gratitude crystals at this point. I don't think I'll find any more. But what's that about a piece of heart in here? Do I have to talk to somebody? I think I've been in everybody's room at night by now. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Oops! Wasn't me. Try to find out who's in the bath? I'll ask around, I guess.
I don't hear any voices coming from the restroom anymore. But now Colin's been crying himself to sleep in Groce's room. Is there anything we can do?
Nope. And it's gonna stay that way, Granny. Oh, secret entrance to the bath, huh? Let's find it. But if there's a secret entrance, I would think it's like in Zelda's room or something. Maybe Gipporo's room? Curious and curiouser. That's not Gipporo's room. You want to convert your bathroom into a wet room like that, but it would cost like 20,000 human monies. Oh! It's interesting that's like a standard. I wonder why. I've heard it's like to accommodate the, for accessibility reasons, basically. Like, if you can't climb into the bathtub, you could just, like, get a little stool and then put it in the middle of the room and just take a shower like there. Some of the places I stayed at Airbnbs had... I kind of had to take a shower like that. Because... I'm not even that large of a person. I mean, a chicken. But... some of the bathtubs are so tiny that I don't think any medium-sized human could fit standing in there. So I just took a shower in the middle of the main room, like I described. Apartments in Japan can be very tiny. Very, very tiny. If I could get a hint as to how to find this so-called secret entrance to the bathroom, that would be wonderful. Turn 2D and just walk through the mural. Of course. Didn't you just remember how to do that from Link Between Worlds Link? Same Link. I gotta take this hall pass and just, like, present it to the door. That's how I get in. If it's through Zelda's room, I don't have access to Zelda's room yet. I think that's later in the game. You need double claw shots? I have double claw shots. You get both of them at the same time, so I actually have both. Very nice of the developers of this game. It's a little weird how you get items outside of dungeons. Okay, that's not a hint. That's just literally telling me how to get in. But hey, now I know. Let's look up. While I educate the chat on taking baths in Japan. Remember, take a bath correctly. You do it wrong, and a lion statue will yell at you. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. Oh! I looked at that earlier. Literally, I didn't even notice that. Yup. Bye-bye. Right, left, right, left. Hello? Whoa, wait a minute. Gipora! Oh, old man! I just need to double check. Ew, old man! I can never unsee. Has been seen. It was on that day that Link lost his innocence. Look, you gotta see your girlfriend's dad naked before you have a right to see her naked. It's only facts, you know? That's how the world works. That's why in Tulip, I've already kissed both of Monika's dad and mom. Is this Zelda's room right here? Pizza Hut! Got him. This is Zelda's room, isn't it? Yeah, why is there like a huge gap between Karane's room and Zelda's room? Did they used to just like gossip through the crack in the wall? I wonder, what do they talk about? What secrets have they discussed? He's not bathing correctly. He is. He just needs to wait until it heats up. Why does Zelda have a little Tingle doll? Boy, oh boy, I will say, this is the cutest Tingle's ever looked. You old man! Thanks for the clip. Let's take a look. We don't really appreciate the scenery enough. There's the family photo. Gipora and Zelda. I wonder what happened to Zelda's mom. I mean, I can guess. But I wonder if she has like a picture of her somewhere. Like maybe right here. Ah, yes. Her mom is a little smudgy blur that kind of looks like a bird. Her mom was a bird! She was the first Chozo! I can sit in the chair? Her mom turned into Ganondorf. Her mom turned into Dry Ganondorf! Skyward Sword is a prequel to Breath of the Wild 2 after all. People are making theories about how Skyward Sword might connect because, you know, they revealed that sky area and there are hints that the sky area takes place in the past. This is Zelda's journal. One of the entries is unfinished. Read the entry? Well, you know we gotta. Tomorrow's the big day. The ring ceremony. Finally, Link can take a big step toward becoming a knight. I can't wait to see him promoted to full knighthood. But I'm a little worried he might have some trouble winning the race. That's why I'm going to help him cheat.
That's right, we're gonna cheat.
Link hasn't been taking his flight training seriously. Someone needs to make sure he doesn't mess up his chance. So I made up my mind. Tomorrow I'll wake him up extra early and make sure he gets in some last-minute practice, whether he likes it or not. He has to win, or we won't be able to perform the closing ceremony together.
Breath of the Wild 2. The prequel.
Can't go into the headmaster's room. It's like he's busy right now.
Old man!
speaking of theories, I'll just say this one last theory. That dry Ganondorf, dehydrated Ganondorf, you know, he didn't hydrate enough on stream. There's theories that he is the ancient hero spoken of in the beginning of Breath of the Wild. Like, even before the 100 years ago, but like the ancient times when the Sheikah weaponry and whatnot were first made. They talked about a hero that stood up to fight for Hyrule. And the little image on the tapestry looks like Ganondorf does, but also kind of like how Link, quote-unquote, past Link does in those Breath of the Wild 2 trailers. Because they never show his face. It could very well be that you actually play as like a past Ganondorf before... Well, man, I can't talk about that without spoiling the Skyward Sword. I'm just gonna say, like, a Ganondorf that's not evil, a Ganondorf that's not bad, was potentially a hero before. Wouldn't that be, forgive the pun, wild? I'd love to see a game, that's what I want to see out of character development in Zelda for the next Zelda game. Or even, maybe the next one after Breath of the Wild 2 if it doesn't. I want to see Ganondorf as a character who actually has, like, defining traits to him besides being evil. And then maybe we get an origin story of how, like, he became evil. I'm being vague, but I'm talking about stuff that happens in Skyward Sword. This gate turned into Night Trap. I'm sneaking around teenage girls' rooms. No, it's Night Trap if I'm watching the girls' rooms through a surveillance camera. Surveillance camera. Hey, fun fact. I've actually streamed Night Trap once before. I streamed it once because I got the it was on sale for PC when they remastered it recently. I played it for a Halloween stream once. I just slept at night until it was night. What am I doing? He dehydrated because he didn't hydrate. But that's just a theory. You want more Ganondorfs like Wind Waker's? He has characterization, such great characterization in that game. That's what I was talking about when I played Wind Waker. Like, he has motivation. You actually feel bad for how he was basically raised. And it's the same Ganondorf from every single game. He doesn't reincarnate as much as Link and Zelda do. He does reincarnate, but like usually as Ganon or as a Calamity Ganon or whatnot. But that Ganondorf is the same Ganondorf from Ocarina of Time, who is the same Ganondorf from Twilight Princess, just in alternate timelines, you know? Marvel's What If, you know? Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about that. I watched the first one. The first the episode. I won't spoil it, but I'll give the synopsis that they publicly show. It's what if... I already said this, by the way. What if Peggy Carter got the Super Soldier Serum instead of Steve Rogers? And it's actually really good. It, like, makes me nostalgic for the first Avengers movie. Dodge! What if she dodged eggs? And dodged them she did. And it's just super hype. It actually is really hype. It's got a lot of good moments in it. Well, I don't know. What else can I do? I think I'm out of stuff. I'm out of stuff to do. Without going back down to the ground. I could do another Silent Realm, but I wanna save that. Oh, you know what I can do? I can just go to the Isle of Songs and learn the next song. That way we're ready. That way we're ready for the next piece of the puzzle. Didn't we get the Didn't we get the origin of why he was evil in Ocarina of Time? Well, that's not the origin of why he became evil. He was just already evil in Ocarina of Time. And that's the first canonical time we see Ganondorf. But I'm just saying that there is something in Skyward Sword that explains why Link and Zelda and Ganondorf are in this perpetual cycle of reincarnation. And maybe, just maybe, it didn't affect Ganondorf and his lineage right away. Or maybe completely independently from Skyloft, there might have existed what became the Gerudo tribe, you know? Because it's weird to me that Skyloft is the only civilization of people up here, you know? Too bad they canceled Agent Carter. Man, I wonder if What If is the remnants of that. Peggy's so tall, man. Taller than you thought she'd be. Well, I mean, after getting the super soldier serum, for sure. I mean, Captain Peggy Carter could definitely crush me. Just saying. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. I'm just saying. In that version of events, Steve Rogers may or may not be living a lot of people's dreams. He gets to have the big, strong woman, and you know what? That is... man, I just don't want to spoil anything. I'm just gonna say it's... How they played out that version of the relationship is actually kind of adorable. I like it a lot. I really liked it a lot. I wonder what they'll do for the next one. I wonder if the next one's gonna be the, what if T'Challa was, Star-Lord one? It might be. Whoa, hey-oh. Got too many chickens. Link, what happened? The third song. Do you learn them from chickens? It's a bird song.
Master Link, who let the chickens out? Who let the chicken out? Who? Master Link, analysis has concluded that the statue is singing the Doctor Who theme song. Would you like to watch Doctor Who with me sometime? My favorite Doctor is Peter Capaldi because he has attack eyebrows. As a sword, I like to attack. Master Link, I have important information. No? Okay. I'll watch it myself later.
Thanks for the straggler chicken. Resident Evil Agent Carter. Wow. Ooh, woo, woo.
When you struck the crest with a Skyward strike from your sword, a message from the goddess awakened deep within my memory. The goddess intended this message for you, Master. These are her words. You seize the sacred flames, listen well, for I am the one guiding you from my place at the edge of time. Edge of time? Try to rhyme. Edge of time. Eat a lime, prevent scurvy. The last of the sacred flames will elude you. To obtain it, you must claim another sacred gift. For each trial you overcome, you shall be blessed with another gift. Make use of the power of these gifts. The power of these gifts. The power of these gifts. Oh, the powers of these gifts. And you will most certainly find the sacred flames I bestow unto you another melody. Let it serve as a key to unlocking your final trial in the volcano.
Ooh. Oh. Oh. This one sounds a little like... Gotta do that little like Russian dance where you like kick and you're like, hey! I like it. Hey! Hey! Why am I doing the dance in real life? I don't have a webcam. And the music in this game is great. Mr. Cozy Kondo definitely outdid himself.
According to my records, that song you just heard is Din's Power. Use this song on Mike to locate the last trial.
You are nothing. Din's power! The Horde is stopping me from being willfully crushed by Peggy Carter. Who said willfully? I never said willfully. I just said she could totally crush me. Between her thighs. With any body part, really. I'm a very fragile chicken. Just saying. Just saying.
I have committed his power to my memory. Now you have the ability. Use dowsing to locate the gate to the final trial. I suggest you travel to Keldon Volcano.
A little weird that the first 3 dungeons are Pharaon, Eldin, Lanayru, but then they go Pharaon, Lanayru, Eldin. There's only so many orders. True. But if they were gonna do the same areas again, it's a little weird that they go out of order. I wonder if they had it in the other order. I would like to know how rushed or not this game was. Because I just don't understand the padding for as well everything else is designed in this game. There's just so many random points of, here, go to this place that you've already been to talk to this character just to find out that you never needed to be here. Alright. Neat. I mean, to be fair, one occurrence does not an order make. But seeing as the story progression of this game is literally just prophecy telling you where you need to go next, it doesn't really feel natural that you necessarily have to do it in any particular order. Well, you know, human nature, trying to find order in things, trying to find patterns, and sometimes there just isn't any. You didn't feel the padding as much because you liked exploring and finding bugs and treasure. I do generally like exploring. It's just these linear areas. And the fact that you have to load between the sky and the ground in the Wii version kind of discouraged me from doing so. All I'll say is I like the game a lot better on the Switch because it loads faster, because a lot of the fluff dialogue's taken out. Overall, it's snappier. And now that I'm streaming it, I can purposefully separate the streams into ground time, Skyloft time. You know, it's cozy up here. I'm okay with the fact that we spent like almost 2 hours up here now. But overall, I like the games that kind of combine it all together, you know? Wind Waker, Breath of the Wild. I think my perfect Zelda game lies somewhere in between them. You there, I see you, yes. Come, allow me to foresee your own future. Can you tell me about where to next? He's just gonna tell me to go to Eldin. Why did I ask? I was hoping it'd be like the fortune teller in Twilight Princess, which I totally forgot to visit her during my stream of it. Every time I went to Hyrule Castle Town, it was either during nighttime or I didn't particularly need a piece of heart. Oh, I feel a little bad now, because I like the fortune teller in that game. This time I see fire! You would think not to take a wooden shield, that would be foolish. That's all I can see for the moment. Good luck, young man! He winked at me. Did you see that? With his big old eyes. Yeah. I think that's it. It's a little short of 3 hours, but I'm tired. I think it's about time to start to call it for the night. It's been a cozy time, y'all. I appreciate y'all's company. But I got stuff to take care of this weekend. Again, I said we weren't doing Tulip this weekend. Unfortunately. Thought I could get back into the swing of it, but life's like that sometimes. Fee does still have fun dialogue. I'm glad that they kept fun dialogue. They cut out some fun lines too. But there's only so much. What if there was a mode where you could select, like, do you want more Fee dialogue or less? and just default to less. That way you could say that it's technically not cut. That'd be cool. This game was made during the dark times of Phantom Hourglass and Wii U. Nintendo's padding their games to compete with AAA. Well, this was before the Wii U, but I guess the start of that era. I do like Phantom Hourglass more than you'd expect, but not as much as I want to. And I really like Spirit Tracks. That game is honestly underrated. I would like to stream it at some point, but maybe with the mod that gives them button controls. Yeah. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome. It's been cozy. Yeah, thank you. I try to go for that atmosphere, especially during these more cozy AAA Nintendo game streams. It's not like Ace Attorney where I'm constantly like moving and grooving. Like, no, we're just gonna take it easy and chill out. And Zelda's, like I said, the perfect kind of game to just chill out, exist in the world, and do whatever. Even if we're not actively moving towards progress or pieces of heart or collection, like, it's just nice to be there, you know? Yeah. Spirit Tracks underrated. Good Bones and Phantom Hourglass, the DS games. I'll tell you what, it's kind of funny that those games aren't going up in price as much as all the other DS games are. I'm glad, but also kind of sad. That means people don't appreciate them as much. Or, you know, Nintendo games have been printed to hell. One of those, but I do got pretty good condition copies of Skyward, Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass. Yeah. Never played it? Never played it? Hyrule Warriors has Spirit Tracks Zelda. Yeah! But, yeah. Hopefully in the future, when we're back to more of a lull, as you guys can tell, usually when there's no new releases, I always default to a Zelda game. It just so happens this time the new release is a Zelda game. Because I love these games. They're probably like one of the most defining series of games to my gaming tastes and life. They got adventure, they got characters, they got action, they got emotions, and they got tingle. So yeah, we'll talk more Zelda next time. For now, let's find somebody to raid and let's see if there's any art today. If you have any art for the stream based on the memes or the screams or the jeans or the games I play, go ahead and send it to the Discord or tweet it to me. No art today, but that's okay. We're gonna go somewhere anyway. Once again, if you haven't already, give me a follow on Twitch in the hizzle. Give me a follow on YouTube for the past VODs. Let's go. Twitter, Discord for hanging out off stream for news and memes. You know where to go. Oh. If you're going to bed, have a good night and stay clucky, cluck, stay clucky. Bye bye.